Can I get you anything?
Huh?
I mean, like tea or coffee or anything? You look too relaxed to get it for yourself. Get the hell out of my chair.
Oh, sure, Wolfie. I'm sorry about that, but I've been doing some homework here this morning.
What, on the sports page?
No, honest. I've been digging up information on this Raven Whitney. You remember we was curious about her reason for wanting to get out of the country. I figured I'd find a clue by reading up on what happened to her.
Well, your brain is really clicking for a change. Did you find anything we can use?
Yeah, a couple of things, maybe. There was a lot of coverage on her husband a couple of months back, I can tell you that.
What do you mean, when he was killed in Switzerland, is that what you mean?
Yeah, it seems this Whitney guy was suspected of knocking off a couple of people before he got killed himself.
Yeah, got it. She did it.
Who? Did what?
His wife, you dummy. This Raven dame. She shot her old man. The police are on to her, so she's trying to get out of the country. That's why she's coming here this morning and falling right into our laps. No wonder she was so nervous on the phone last night.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Of course I'm right.
But look at this. Guess who used to work for the Whitneys? Our old friend, Gunther Wagner. Not only that, Gunther's girlfriend works there now.
What, Nora Fulton?
Uh-huh.
See, there's got to be some connection. This just keeps getting better and better and better, Al.
Don't you look comfortable? If I didn't know better, Nora, I'd say you were the proper lady of the house.
There's just no end to your sarcasm, is there? What were you doing skulking around upstairs?
I was getting Mrs. Saxon's room ready for her.
Doesn't it bother you that that woman is moving back into this house?
Since she already lives here, Nora, I
So
don't...
what if she finds out that Raven Whitney is not in a sanitarium in Europe?
If you're so afraid, why don't you quit the job?
I thought about it, believe me.
No, you won't leave until you're sure there's a payoff, will you, Nora?
Whitney residence?
Was this Nora Fulton?
Yes.
This is Wolfie's travel agency, New York City. Listen, sweetheart, are you the one who sent this Raven Whitney here?
Yes, I'm the person who gave Mrs. Whitney the name of your travel agency.
Yeah, well, how did you know about us?
Gunther mentioned it when he talked about his days in New York.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I'm sorry about Gunther, honey.
Yeah, so am I.
Now, about this Whitney thing, I just want to know if she was legit.
Yes, she's very anxious to book passage out of the country.
How come she's so anxious to get out? You got any idea?
No idea at all.
Oh, well, thanks, baby. It's good to know that I can confirm this deal. So long.
Goodbye.
Yes. It's Tavern?
Is Hector Wilson there?
Where else would he be? This is his uptown office. Just a minute, hang on, I'll get him. Hector? It doesn't surprise me, but there's a phone call for you. What does surprise me is that it's not from your brother. It's from a lady.
A lady? Hey, all right. This could be my lucky day. Yeah?
It's Nora.
Oh, yeah. What do you want?
I've got to get some information to Smiley. It's important.
What is it?
Raven Whitney has gotten all the way to New York. Smiley's got to know. Now, listen, I can't talk to you here. I'll come down there where we can talk without interruption.
Oh, okay. We'll see you soon then. Bye.
Well, welcome to Messy Manor.
Thanks, Gavin.
And it'll seem like a come down after the luxury of the cabin or penthouse, but try to make yourself at home anyway. Look, Gavin, I wanted to tell you that I appreciated your coming to the funeral with me. I just really find it hard to face stuff like that all by myself, especially this time.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Gavin. I just hope that Derek can handle being alive right now.
Yeah, well, he's a tough guy. I just don't see how he's gonna get through all this.
Why don't we change the subject?
Yeah, fine with me.
Place looks better than it did after the burglary.
Yeah, well, it has one advantage over your former domicile anyway.
What's that?
If you should decide to jump out of this window, you're liable not to get hurt.
The way you've been looking lately looks like you've been thinking about doing that.
Oh, the thought had crossed my mind.
Heart troubles?
Who told you that?
Well, you know how people talk, Calvin. I heard that you had a change of heart about Didi.
Yeah, well, you heard wrong.
Sorry, I guess a good roommate should be deaf, dumb, and blind.
You know, I hate the term roommates. Why don't we call ourselves stallmates or something? It'd probably go better with the terrain. Anyway, it's true, you know.
What is?
That I have not had a change of heart about Didi.
Well, that's fine, isn't it?
No, it's not fine. There are some circumstances that I haven't told Didi about, which are making it impossible for me to ask Star for a divorce.
You haven't told Didi the circumstances?
No.
Well, what the hell are you keeping it a mystery for? Do you think it's better that she guesses?
I don't know. I've been thinking about the same thing an awful lot lately. Maybe it's just time I did tell her, huh? Make yourself at home. I'll see you later.
Mr. Endicott? Oh, I'm sorry. Please don't get up. I hope I haven't kept you waiting.
Not at all. It's exactly 12:30.
Oh, this has not been a smooth morning.
Well, perhaps a drink would help. Waiter?
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Kavanaugh.
I think I'd like a glass of white wine, please.
And scotch for me, please, on the rocks.
Yes, sir.
It was kind of you to join me for lunch on such short notice.
Oh, I was happy to accept it. I've been at a funeral service all morning,
Oh.
and a pleasurable lunch will be just the thing to raise my spirits.
Always distressing, isn't it?
Yes, and especially in this case, my friend was so young.
Oh, I am sorry. Was your sister with you?
No, unfortunately, Jody wasn't able to make it this morning because she was involved in contract negotiations for the children's show at WMON.
She's going to be very popular. I wonder if that's quite fair, though, is it?
What?
For one young lady to possess beauty, intelligence, talent, wrapped in a single package?
I know. There's no justice.
Indeed, there isn't. Ah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure she's happy to have the portrait back, though, isn't she?
Oh, she is thrilled. She has become so attached to that painting. It's hanging right in the living room. Now, it is amazing, the resemblance, don't you think?
Yes.
She has been staring at it so much that Miles and I are beginning to accuse her of vanity.
Oh, I imagine her obsession with it will pass.
Well, I don't know. She's a pretty tenacious young lady, Mr. Endicott. I know that she is determined to find out more about the painting, but frankly, I don't think she's going to let it out of her hands again.
Yes, the theft was most unfortunate, wasn't it? Still, there was a happy ending. Of course, if she is determined to know more about its history, I could ask one of my friends, an appraiser, to come to your home to look at it. I offer it only as a solution to Jody's curiosity.
Why, I think that's a fine idea. As a matter of fact, why don't you and Grace and your friend come to our house for dinner one night next week?
We'd like that very much. And if I may share a confidence, it will give me a splendid opportunity to do a little matchmaking. I have been trying to enlist Grace's interest in this young friend of mine as a potential husband.
Oh.
Now, how is that for being devious?
Oh, I think that's lovely. And Jody will be happy if there's any way she can find out more about her painting.
Well, we'll definitely arrange it.
You know, There is another avenue I've been thinking of exploring.
Oh?
You know the woman who found the painting, Mrs. Ingersoll?
Didn't you say she knew nothing about it?
Well, yes, that's what she told us, but she knew Jody's mother. In fact, she was her closest friend, and it just seems to me that at some point or other, Mrs. Travis must have mentioned something to her.
Yes, that seems logical.
And I was just thinking that if we could spend some time with her, I have no doubt that we would find out so much more about Mrs. Travis's life than we know now.
You look surprised to see me.
Well, I shouldn't be. Life is full of surprises lately, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and I think I may have one or two more for you.
Like a coffee or something?
No, nothing, thanks.
You saw Hazel Weston last night, I take it?
Yes, I did.
And?
Well, she's divorced. She lives alone. She's very unhappy. And looks it, too. She's got an extraordinary amount of dislike for Valerie Bryson. I don't know, maybe it's just feminine competition or something.
How does she react to seeing you?
Well, she was shocked at first. I had to tell her that I was my own twin brother to get her to listen to me.
Well, what did she have to say about Jefferson Brown?
There, I think I touched a nerve. She tried to convince me of something that I didn't believe, although I didn't tell her that. She suggested that Jeff was secretly dating Valerie Bryson at the same time that I was.
Why would she say something like that?
I don't know. Make me feel badly about Valerie, I guess.
You don't suppose there's a possibility she did date him, do you?
Well, it's possible, I suppose, but no. No, I mean, even though I did not spend every minute of every day with her, I know that she wasn't interested in Jeff. She would have told me.
You never know about women, Sky. Excuse me. Whitney residence? Oh, yes, Mrs. Saxon. I see you. One moment, please, if you would. She wants to give me some information. I'm going to take it in the other room.
Raven Whitney. What are you like, I wonder? Determined? Self-willed? Selfish. That's what I see in the portrait. I wonder if we'll ever meet. You know, the man you loved looked just like me. I wonder if you'll like me for that or hate me. And what will I think of you? You are beautiful, Raven.
It's advice from a good friend.
Well?
Didi, I do love you. Want to spend time with you. Would ask you to marry me if I were free.
Calvin, you could have been free. You could be free right this very minute if you would send that letter to Star. Doesn't that follow, or am I missing something?
Didi, Star is pregnant.
When did she tell you?
She didn't. I had to find out from Samantha Pike, her understudy. She said she went to the doctor with Star in New York.
I don't understand, Calvin. Why didn't Star tell you herself?
Apparently, she doesn't want me to know. I guess she thinks I'm gonna come to New York and insist that she leave that show of hers. You know how she is. She's stage struck. If I want to leave, somebody would have to force her to get out.
I don't blame her. I could certainly understand a woman being committed to a career. And it would be very difficult for her to leave right now while she's in a big hit and having such a big personal success.
Exactly.
So, where does that leave us?
I don't have an answer to that question. I just know I can't write Star and ask her for a divorce when she's going to have a baby, Didi. So that was my reason.
Reason, Calvin? Or alibi?
Dame, Miss Raven Whitney.
In more ways than one. Young and beautiful, and 3 husbands. Also, she has a kid somewhere.
Is there? That's too bad. I hate to cheat the kid out of all that bread, but finders keepers.
There is nothing but money in this Whitney family, Wolfie.
Yeah, I know. I'm reading. Wait, I'm reading. This dame must be, she must be loaded. It says here her husband had a fortune in excess $200 million. Now, see, this is impressive.
You can say that again.
And if she's dying to get out of the country, that means she's got a big, fat load with her. See, we're in the big time, sweetheart.
Yeah, but we gotta be careful.
Hey, ain't I always?
I'm thinking about that last guy. The fat guy from Wisconsin. That got a little hairy, remember?
Yeah, well, the fish had a picnic with the fat man. They're just gonna love a dish like Raven Whitney, too.
Enjoy your flight, miss.
Oh, thank you very much. Have a nice day.
And you? Well, and what's the destination today, officer?
New York City, please.